You're already live. Go and pause this
Global S Radio and later Vision Group. The Gavel show
Yongeza volume.
What?
Yongeza volume nga bulijjo bw'otera okwongeza.
Every Saturday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the Gavel Coach Show with Simon and Midway on Global S Radio and later Vision Group. The Gavel Coach Show where leaders.
Exactly here on Almost Radio. Always get onto this leadership, of course, program. We'll be talking about a program. I want to say hi to you, dear listener, wherever you are listening in from. It's just 13 minutes past 8 here on Almost Radio. It is only Simon and me to take you through the Gravel Board show. Usually we'll be looking at now we are delving. This is going to be so political, but of course you must learn in one way or the other. It's a Saturday. Usually it is 10. Yeah, it is 10 May, meaning meaning the month. We are actually in the quarters of the year probably. So how have you been today? I'm sure tomorrow we're going to be praying. Yeah, you should pray because we need prayer. We need Jesus Christ in our lives. So for Christians, congratulations to you on 8th of May. We were able to get the chosen Pope, that is Pope Leo the 14th. Yeah, it was unveiled to us. That was was it on Monday or what? I don't remember. When was it?
On 8th.
When?
On 8th.
Yeah, it was on 8th, but
it was a Thursday.
Yeah, it was Thursday. Congratulations to you all, and I'm sure people will be talking, but of course that is godly stuff. We don't need to interrupt in anything. We just need to go by God is chosen people in one way or the other. We wish you the best in your in your endeavors, whatever you're going to take through us. Pope Leo. So what are we having today? Today we are having different people here who are going to be talking to us on what we have today. But before we go to what exactly we had last time, let me just introduce to you the people I have today with you. As usual, I have I have Mildred with me here. Mildred, first say hi to the listeners and of course after we continue.
Thank you very much, Simon. I don't know how your week has really been.
Yeah.
Mine has been the best. It has been my birth week, of course. So I celebrated my birthday. Don't ask me how old I am.
I know. I cannot get there.
Anyway, it has been a very beautiful week.
Yep.
Thank God for the achievements that Arsenal didn't reach the final.
That wasn't relevant. That wasn't relevant. Yeah,
it was. Anyway, I would like to congratulate all the students of Uganda Matters University upon completing their exam. Most of them have completed today. And I think it has been a lovely week. I welcome you once again, our dear listener, Gavel Coach, every Saturday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. So we have some other people who are with us. We have Ian. First of all, this one is with me here with us here. Abwenje Ian. This one is a law student at Uganda Matters University and also serves as a Chief Justice in the current Umusu. Is it 31st? What? Yeah, that first Umusu Uganda Matters University Students Union. So virtually we have Mr. Asime Dan, he's also a law student at KIU and also doubles as CEO at Community Impact Africa. We have Mr. Maganda Harrison. This one is also, we have law students only. Meaning we have also still pretty good people because we are going to talk about law. This is Mr. Maganda Harrison, law student at UCU, Uganda Christian University, also a student leader somewhere.
Yes, very much. I think I would love them to say hello, and then we option to even ensure that we can get them very well. I don't know if they can hear us out there.
All right, Mr. Asim Dan, please talk to us.
Well, thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Mm.
My name is Gavel, and I'm a student at Kampala International University.
Yes.
I'm a CEO at Remains Impact Africa and a principal coordinator forum for ideas.
Thank you very much. We are also glad to have you, Uganda Matters University Radio. Who else do we have here? We have Maganda Harrison. Are you there?
Yes, please. I am available.
Yes, please say hi.
And also to the listeners of the Home Radio, Harrison and also to the Christian West.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. And lastly, we have let our inmate here say hi to the listeners also.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Moderator. My name is Gwenje Ian Claudius, the Chief Justice of the 31st Union and the President Gavel Club. Now, I'm very happy to be here, at least to mark the end of this semester.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We shall be happy for your insightful, of course, projections. Mildred, what did you have last time when we proceed?
So last time,
Yeah.
if you remember, we had a theme, a leader's born, or is leadership inborn or taught, where we had the president, the 31st president of Uganda Matters University,
Yeah.
His Excellency Horst Asha,
Yeah.
Thimwe Mujizi. And we also had the Liberian honorary that we have currently,
Okay.
still serving on the 31st one also as the faculty representative of agriculture. So of course we left the house where for them they do believe that
Yeah.
leadership is actually taught in different experiences. One goes through the different mentorships that we get, whereby I still persisted that leadership is inborn, based on a few characters that a leader has to portray in their leadership. I still believe leadership is inborn. However,
Yeah.
you can get to know just in a few words and 2 minutes from our guest panelists today.
Yeah.
Do they think that leadership is inborn or is taught? Let's start with the one in studio, Ian, then we shall get to the ones on there.
Yeah, a moment, Ian. www.umo.sc.ug, that is your website where you can get to us still. But of course, even you who would want to join Uganda Matters University, go to www.umo.sc.ug. You exactly get to know about the services that Uganda Matters University have for you. And then for you to listen to us clearly, you just go to Google Play Store, download radio to curb those inconveniences while listening in. Please.
Yeah, back to Mildred's question of leaders born
Yeah, just briefly.
or built. I just feel, to me, leaders are born. It's very hard to groom a leader, even though you groom them, they don't become what you expect.
You're saying they should first have it,
Yes,
inside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wish he was in studio last weekend.
Yeah, someone virtually say something, Mr. who? Harrison.
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity. You want me to talk about whether the leaders are born or not?
Yeah, just briefly.
Oh, I would say it's both. It's both. There are those that are made, but then there are those that are naturally born leaders.
Can you please take a stance?
Can I take a start? Okay.
Yes.
One is born a leader. Yes, that's what I can say. One is born a leader.
One is born a leader. Oh, he's on your side. Right?
Just know.
Mr. Asima says something about that. We get to our today's topic.
Well, me, I would say that one is made a leader. Because when you look at the likes of Nelson Mandela coming rumor,
yeah,
they rose up because of what the injustices that people were facing. So those injustices made them evolve that kind of character, like, no, let me be the one to stand out.
Yeah.
To see that maybe out of all of these problems that are going through, so that we can get independence of our own. So in my view, I believe leaders are made and they are not born.
All right, thank you very much. It's contrary to us in the
So-
studios today.
Should I say that
Yeah.
the number is equal now? 3-3. Inborn thought.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
yeah.
So when you're neutral.
Yeah, I don't want to take this down.
Anyway, so I think let's after a quick commercial break, we get
Oh, yeah,
back
sure.
and we dive into what we have today.
All right.
The Gavel Gold Show, the ultimate leadership experience where visionaries, innovators, and game changers come together to share their stories, insights, and leadership expertise.
Tune in every Saturday. We play the biggest songs on your favorite radio station. Umu Radio. Home of the biggest hit. 365 days a year. The biggest hits.
Depesa radio kwake kupumzika huko nyuma.
Anawiyo Umu Radio.
Unasikiliza Umu Radio.
Laughter and digital fun.
All day, every day.
The Gavel Gold Show, the ultimate leadership experience where visionaries, innovators, and game changers come together to share their stories, insights, and leadership expertise.
So we'll be back, our dear listener, from that short commercial
Yeah, it
break.
was a little short.
So let's dive into what we covered today.
Yeah, we are talking about. Do you want to say something? Because it's going to be hard.
It's gonna be hot. I don't know if we did know how we are going to be treated,
Yeah,
but actually we are yet to know. So today we are looking at the state of human rights
yeah.
in Uganda ahead of the 2025 general election.
2026.
So actually that is one thing that was confusing me, but I was corrected that
Yeah.
actually the elections start right from the primaries. As
Oh,
we are
yes.
saying right now, we're having the different parties
LC1,
now
yeah.
choosing who are to be the flag bearers. We have the LCs and everything. So actually we are already into the political atmosphere.
Of course.
So today basically what we have 3 guests, as you stated. So what we want answers to a few issues. Are the human rights being held or compromised? Are freedoms such as speech assemblies and speech being respected or not? Especially here, actually we are dealing within here, Uganda, before we can get to the US. I don't know if our guests, you have examples from the US. Before
Should we start?
and then lastly,
Mm.
I would like to know, and most importantly, what roles are the leaders and legal experts playing in shaping the future of this upcoming or the already going election?
Come again to that question.
What's the role that the leaders,
Mm.
the legal experts, and actually we the citizens that we are playing to shape the future of these upcoming elections or
Oh.
already the primaries that are going on? So basically, that's what we are going to dive in today. I don't know if I can get to the questions because I'm already eager. Sorry.
Yeah. Those ones who are virtual, please. Are you getting us very well clearly?
Yes, we are.
All right. I think let's get into
So let's get into the questions. So actually, based on the thing, actually, as Mr. Harrison has replied,
Yeah.
I'd like him to answer this.
Okay.
Where would you register that? Where are we standing currently in the state of our human rights of Uganda? Currently, before we look at the election period coming in, how is the state right
Well,
now? Very shortly.
All right. Now, wait. Before,
Mm.
I had already something here. I would like to give some enlightenment about the commission, our Uganda Human Rights Commission, because they would need to know what exactly you're talking
So
about.
that we get to know.
So that one for starters, but of course I know we are looking at okay. I'm not actually telling you people because you're lying. Those ones who are outside there, those ones probably,
including me.
Even you.
Yes.
The Human Rights Commission has, a role, to protect and as well promote fundamental human rights and freedoms in the country for sustainable development. So whenever this thing is broken, whenever this role is not exactly, you're going to see different cases, the abductions. You're going to see, okay, those people responsible are not going to do what should be done, because there is no that commission, that organization or authority, the body to fight him, to be there to guide in one way or the other. So this will take us to the question that you ask this time.
Okay, so let's have it, and then we shall have Harrison come in.
You know that question, Harrison.
Let him first answer, then
yes.
Okay.
Oh, Harrison,
are you there?
Yes, please, I'm present. I'm available.
So did you get the question very well?
No, please reinstate the question.
Currently, before we even get into the election period, where would you rate the state of human rights in Uganda?
Yeah, apparently.
How is the state?
Okay, thank you very much for the transparency. Currently, when you look at how Uganda is running on human rights, I would say that whereby the process of violation is on the rise as we approach the forthcoming elections. But even if I talk about the forthcoming elections, I'd like to exhaustively talk about the human rights.
Hopefully it will be brief.
Make it brief.
Yes. Like, what are these human rights? And where will these human rights go? And what are the bodies that are supposed to actually go ahead and administer these human rights in case that all bodies are supposed to protect these human rights? Out of human rights, basically, these are the rights one should have as an individual by virtue of being human. And we are privileged that these rights are not granted by an individual or the state. You are born with these rights as an individual. And so you have a right to enjoy your freedom, such as education, such as life, such as family, protection, privacy. And we have institutions that are just there to help you protect these rights and freedoms. Such as when you look at our current constitution and the chapter 4, we look at the promotion and protection of the fundamental and other human rights. So generally, when you look at these rights and freedoms, they are inherent and better. That means that the person is born with these rights. So generally, when you look at how some of these rights are stated under chapter 4 of the constitution, that is the right to life, the right to privacy, and Uganda's stand on these human rights currently, we are doing really bad. We are doing really bad. That's what I can say.
Okay, maybe before you could go, so currently, there are some particular, okay, you have already stated a few. Maybe I could skip it. Never mind. Thank you very much, Mr. Harrison. So I'd like to forward the same question to, no, it's okay. You answered. I wanted to ask you, are there some of the rights that you think that are actually being at stake or are under pressure as we're heading in the time of elections, but you already stated some. So forward the same question to, I don't know how the Chief Justice is addressed, but to Mr. Bwenze. Currently, if you look at, he's not, so that's a magistrate. Anyway, I don't know if you will inform us best.
Okay, thank you very much once again. Now, to expound on what my fellow brother was talking about, the human rights. Now, your question wants a specific human rights that are being violated.
You can rate the state, and then you can also state those specific rights.
The human rights that are being violated, because now every time we are approaching the elections, the violation of the human rights is on an increase. That has been from 2006 up to now. That's when you start seeing political arrests, censorship of the press, and these articles fall under the Constitution, as he told you, and they are supposed to be inherent, but they are being violated because it's the government. What we have to know that these human rights are being violated mainly because the government that is in place now is the one coming back. So they have to violate to get the place.
You have no guarantee for that.
But yes, the right to speech.
It's not a guarantee, but it is something that has been seen.
Are you sure it's the one coming back?
Yes, it's the one coming back. Of course, why I'm telling you that it's the one coming back? Of course, we have already seen one political prisoner already in prison. That is Dr. Kizabesu. He was already handcuffed, so he cannot do anything. Remember, he normally has that impact in the general elections. Now, we have some rights, like a right to a fair hearing. Some people are going to be imprisoned. Many leaders are going to be imprisoned, and they are not going to get that right to a fair hearing. They will take them to military courts, stop them from being heard by the right subordinate courts, that's the High Court and other courts of justice. So the right to a fair hearing is going to be violated. That is because they want to reduce the expansion and popularity of the opposition party. Now another right is that right.
Wait, you're saying this kind of right is going to be violated.
Yes.
Aren't there people responsible for that in these capacities, in these seats there? What are they
that are responsible for the violation?
No, for this right.
So let's get there. Let him first finish that.
Now the people responsible for a right to fair hearing, as you saw, we had a case of the case that removed civilians being tried in the court of and yes, it was done. You know, when the Supreme Court passes a judgment, it is law. But I hope you saw the reaction of the head of state saying that these people don't know the mechanisms of keeping rights. They don't know what they passed. That shows you what he's capable of. That shows that the impact of the Supreme judgment will not get to him. It's going to still violate it. That's why people are still being taken there, and there is no one who can
go on the sale and come out.
That is why of recent, Eddie Mutwe was captured by General Muhoozi, and no one has that say. Because as you stated, the Uganda Human Rights Commission stated in Article 51 of the Constitution is responsible for protecting these human rights. But it has failed. Why? The commissioner is appointed by the president.
By the head of state himself.
Yes.
But now they were charged this side of massacre, and we are read, I don't know, some charges. What they did, what their some charges they made to Eddie Mutwe. I don't think they just took him.
But at first it was abductions, and it is due to the social media responses. Later they come in and they put some charges. But at first we would say it was abduction, right?
Yeah, it was abduction. Remember, as we are going for this election, we are going to have many arbitrary arrests. People are going to be arrested. People are going to be prevented. That is a right to. You're going to be violating the right to liberty and protection from arbitrary arrests. That is Article 23. Now, you're going to see other rights like right to assembly. I hope you people remember that in the last elections, Bobi Wine was prevented from holding some rallies. And that was a violation of the right to assembly and association, as stated in Article 29 of the Constitution. But now, These things are going to come back. But that now, our question is to us as Ugandans and people who want the change in the coming elections, what is our say? What should we do before these things happen? Of recent, I was happy.
Maybe to sum it up.
Yeah. Of recent, I was happy. Maybe because of the move the Uganda Human Rights Commission took when Ebuntu has been.
It came out.
It came out, but why it came out, I feel like it was covering up. It
was its responsibility to come up on such.
It is its responsibility, yes, but it has not been keeping that responsibility. And it might be tomorrow. They are going to arrest Bobby Wine. It will keep quiet. People are going to be tortured. Every opposition leader, especially maybe the person who gives an impact, is going to be arrested. And these people are going to keep quiet. Why? The person who appointed them is not running for office. So those are the rights that they want to tell you: right to liberty, protection from arbitrary arrests. These things are going to be violated. But we need the Human Rights Commission on board to prevent these violations. Thank you.
Okay, that is the question I wanted to ask. What would you think would calm this kind of atrocities, this kind of ills in the country, for the country to develop?
Thank you very much, Simon. Thank you very much, Ian, for that submission. It was really a very great one. Yes. But Mr. Dan is very quiet out there. We don't know if he's still online with us, and we would like to hear what he would say about the state of human rights in Uganda currently, and which rights are already being oppressed, violated actually, even before we can head into the time of elections. Mr. Dan.
Yes, thank you, moderator, and to all the listeners of Uganda Matters University Radio. All I would say, the state of human rights in Uganda apparently is not good. And the government and stakeholders are now looking for possible ways of how to work in hand to ensure that come 2026, we are going to have a clean environment or a peaceful environment for both the ruling party and the opposition parties to come and freely participate, so that people can come and exercise their mandate that is provided for, that is under Article 59 of the Constitution. And also one thing we need to appreciate is that, yes, we have human rights, but we have what we call the non-derogable rights, those that cannot be taken away, and the derogable rights that can be taken away. That is one thing we need to appreciate. Because now, these derogable rights that can be taken away, we look at circumstances. If these rights are in any way going to affect the peace of the country, if they are creating any security threat, they can be compromised. That is why when you come to Article 43 of the same Constitution, it tells you that, yes, as you're exercising your rights, you must make sure you do not infringe the right of other individuals or disturb public peace.
Maybe
so where you see that
Mr. Dan,
the rights are violated.
Maybe if you would give an example of the way some of them come and encroach on other people's rights, just a small scenario in a minute.
Well, the derogable rights, these are, we have a right to freedom of expression, we have equality, we have protection of personal liberty, we have so all that. The non-derogable rights are only for those rights that cannot be taken away, are only for. We have the right to a fair hearing, freedom from slavery and savagery, then freedom from torture, and then the right to an order of habeas corpus. Those are the only 4 rights that cannot be taken away from an individual.
So you can proceed with what you're saying.
Yes, please.
You can proceed, no problem.
Come again?
You can proceed. You proceed.
With what you were saying before.
Okay, so I would say that now the Electoral Commission has already given its budget to Parliament of about 838 billion in preparation for the coming elections. And the role of the Electoral Commission, together with government agencies like the police, to ensure that there is going to be a peaceful, free and fair elections where both the ruling party and the opposition can freely exercise their mandates in looking for elections. But now, where we get challenges from is now what is bringing all this is arising from the opposition. At times, the opposition have failed to possibly look at some of the laws that government mandates for. What the necessary steps that you need to do. They need to inform the police. Maybe if you're carrying out rallies, the police has to be there for security. But you find at times, maybe a step is missed out, or sometimes these people go to the police and the process is prolonged. So you find that in the long run, now we're having police colliding with the opposition. So that itself now, at the end of the day, we're going to have people tortured, which is also going to arise to human rights, to the violation of human rights. Then you come to one of the greatest violations that I saw in the Kawaii elections were the beating of journalists. I personally believe that because as Uganda, you have the right to access information. Now, a journalist who has the license to practice, he has all the mandate to go and cover up whatever is happening in the country so that people can get to know about it. I highly condemn that, and I pray as we go for these elections, the stakeholders can come in to see that rights of such individuals are protected in the country. And I believe if the stakeholders work in hand with the Electoral Commission, we are going to have a smooth run of the election. Because already NRM carried out the voting for the primary voting for the LS1 chairman, it was a success. Now we are looking at now having a peaceful election come 2026. We are also still aiming towards recent captain. I would say that's what some people are saying. But I would not term it as an abduction, but I would term it as unlawful arrest because he was detained for more than 48 hours that the law requires. But then we saw him being introduced to court after bodies like the Uganda Human Rights Commission issued or wrote a letter that was on 2nd May to the CDF requesting for another habeas corpus for individual to be released because another habeas corpus it is a non-human right that cannot be taken away. And we have seen individual being produced in court. Habeas corpus is basically meaning if someone has been arrested, it is an order mandating whichever body that has that person in custody to produce them to court so that they can be charged and then their issues settled. So me, what I would think is the best way is that if money that the Electoral Commission have put before the Parliament, it should collaborate with stakeholders like the police to ensure that human rights are protected in the country, both the ruling party and the opposition leaders, so that they can freely campaign in the elections. Last time we saw a lot of human rights violations due to COVID-19 because at the end some of the leaders did not take heed of their prescriptions or what they had put or what Parliament had put as the terms for the laws people were supposed to look at to keep the social distance and the face masks of doing something as this were violated. But now we hope that now the fact that we are going to 2026 and there is no state of emergency, we hope for a more free, fair elections and calling upon the Electoral Commission and the government stakeholders to work in hand to see that we have the protection of human rights as we go into the elections. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Those ones who are listening in online, thank you very much. We highly appreciate wherever you are. Maybe I have one more question to Dan.
Yes.
The same Electoral Commission. Dan, are you on?
Yes, I'm on.
Yeah, the same electoral commission that stood out in the 2021 general elections is the same human rights commission. Sorry, it's the same Human Rights Commission, same commission that has come out still to say no to this kind of abductions, the unlawful arrests. Mr. Dan, you've talked about. Now that we are still heading into the other election, that is General 2026, are you seeing that will there be, a stop on whatever has become, it's like a punishment to the country, to Uganda? Do you think there will be a stop to this kind of acts because this kind of body has stood out, according to what you have said, to say no to this kind of acts from the people who are credited, of course, to people who are credited? We see General Moses tweets, they even bring fear, fears into the people of the country. So do you think in one way or the other, even about the report she wrote, Mariam Wangadia, do you think there will be something? Because previously there wasn't anything done. These kind of things went on and on, What do you say about it still done? And I'm sure it's going to go, this question is going to go to all of us.
Well, coming back to that, you see, in 2021, we were under a state of emergency, and the government issued out the rule or the rules we were supposed to follow or guide us during the elections.
Yeah.
And yes, it was the same Human Rights Commission during that time.
Yes.
Now, these people were arrested and it kept quiet. They were detained and then produced in court after a long period of time. But then we saw there was a follow-up. We were able to rest ourselves with the reports that were released, that was in 2023 and 2024. Half of these political prisoners were appeared in court, and most of them have been released, though some are still facing charges and investigations are still going on. Now, when you come to 2026, as we can already see, the Uganda Human Rights Now Commission came out during the unlawful arrest of Eddie Mutwe, and it wrote a letter to the CTF demanding for this body to be produced to court, and this was done. So this being the first step, this shows that now the Uganda Human Rights Commission is now willing, or it has now come up now to protect or to come against such violations of human rights or unlawful arrests. And that's now we're saying now, we as a country, so we as the citizens now need to come up and also know our rights, such that we can also come into help the commission, because under the rules of the commission, it has recommendations to give to the parliament. Now, if we, the citizens, also came up and gave some of these recommendations to the commission, we have our members of parliament representing us, so that there will be now a particular, I feel like a particular law should be enacted governing these unlawful arrests, so that this kind of human rights violation can come from it. But I believe the action that the Uganda Human Rights Commission took in releasing this letter on 2nd May to the CTF shows their commitment now, making sure that we are having a free and fair election come 2026.
All right, thank you very much. Going to say something about it briefly because we are out of time still. Maybe I will add in some more 10 minutes, but 1 minute.
Yeah, maybe in addition to what my brother just said, Dan,
On my question.
yes, on your question, I just feel I disagree with him a little bit. I just feel the act of the Uganda Human Rights Commission writing a letter to release Eddie was just a cover-up lie, or what we call a white lie.
Really?
Why? It is the real elections are not yet. It was just covered. It has just covered up what it has been not doing. But in the subsequent days that are coming towards our general elections,
Yes.
you're going to see the real character of the Uganda Human Rights Commission. They're going to put a deaf ear to some of the injustices. We are going to have more political prisoners, because even now there are some political prisoners 2021 that have never been released. They have started releasing them at the beginning of this year. Why? They are targeting the 2026 general elections.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Maganda Harrison, are you there? Can you say something little?
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yes.
I would like to deviate from what the Chief Justice stated earlier. This is the that we listen to. It is the correct side. It's going to be simply this I don't know whether to come back to it after the human rights we need to understand the fact that we are under the territorial law. And once we understand that we are under the territorial law, that will solve all the problem, bring our solutions to some of the things that we are questioning about this. When we look at the commission, the Human Rights Commission, that my brothers when we look at its establishment and actually this is the president that appoints these people right after when they qualified by the parliament. Now, if everybody is successful, what about other groups? What about other people whose have been successful? And yet, this is the same commission that has the honors of actually fighting for the human rights. Now, if the president goes ahead and becomes a person for an individual, will this same person and this chairperson of this Uganda Human Rights, who has been appointed by the perpetrator, be the individual who will claim for this person to be presented? So it is usually my background, and I need that to the listeners out there and also to the people there. When we come to the status quo, or what we await ahead of the election, we've seen each of the primaries, and the primaries of the NRM are giving us not a good picture, but this a view of something that will happen. If there is a military underlying primary, what they will do is
Thank you very much, Mr. Asimo Dan. And actually, who are online,
Mr. Maganda Harrison.
It is kind of yes, it's kind of insultful of you actually waiting for some time. I don't know. Really, what you have for you have some of the comments.
Comments. Actually, we don't have comments in today, but actually people are really tuned in and they're just liking, meaning they're convinced and they're siding with your guests. So I don't know if I can bring in my last question to the panelists as we wrap up. So they have really said a lot. Some of them are just fine that the Uganda Human Rights Commission has done the act of protecting. Mr. Wenje is saying they're covering up. Mr. Harrison is saying that the power belongs to the people. A lot has been said. And also Mr. Dan also made a comment where that at times we, the citizens, at times are the ones that lead to the actions of the leaders acting so and violating the human rights. Maybe my last question would be to all the panelists. I don't know, we shall start with those on and then we end with Wenje, and then I give it back to you, Simon. So in your own view, I don't know what you would think, but for me, I would think that in every season, the government has often tried to balance freedom and security, the freedom and the security of the people in every electoral period. But in this case, do you think that Uganda is going to prioritize security measures, or it's going to prioritize freedom, no matter the costs that it's going to earn, or no matter what it takes? I don't know if my question is really
security measures or what?
Or to protect the freedom of the people. We have seen it trying to balance the two in my own view, it has tried to balance during every season of election. But this time, according to what is happening and currently the state of the human rights and everything, do you think it's going to be able to balance, or actually it's going to take a side where it will have to protect the freedom of the people, or instead it's going to prioritize security
Let's
measures?
let us have Mr. Maganda Harrison now. Anyway, before you come in, we have okay, www.umu.sc.ug. That is where you're going to get us still, or you go to Google Play Store, download the app Uganda Matters University Radio, Umu Radio. You definitely get to us very unconvenienced. Mr. Maganda, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, on the question.
Yes. What I would say, when we are like my brother, I think it's clear stated that there are certain rights that are dependent on circumstance. But yes, we have the freedom. But where the right now goes ahead to threaten national security, that right will not be granted. And we are seeing that with currently former member of the opposition. So it is still there, but is in custody. Don't accuse others. In threats of having stated a coup against Uganda while in Kenya, he has the right of a fair hearing. But then, yes, and it's not durable. But then there are other rights that could be having. However, the matter of national importance or national security has been outweighed to these individual rights, because we are the multitudes, the people of Uganda, the citizens of Uganda, the multitudes, and so the government can prioritize security over these individual rights. However, in any democratic situation, because Uganda is referred to as a democracy, and we look at states like the United, we're looking at countries like the United States to achieve their kind of governance systems, because the US is under a federal system, and we try to play with that oftentimes. However, we are still under the authoritarian system. And since Uganda is often referred to as a democratic system, there's certain things that have to be done in a democracy, which include observation of human rights. And so, in my own view, I would say the government, yes, while they're looking at matters of security, they should also go ahead and prioritize people's rights.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harrison. So for you think that actually the freedom of the people should be protected, right? Someone, you can unmute, please, so they can get us. So sorry. So sorry. We forgot to unmute. So Mr. Harrison, you side with the side that the government actually shall do all it takes. Anything that compromises with the security, they'll have to violate the rights, right? I'll push it to Mr. Dan. What would be your view on this?
Yes, well, I think security goes in hand with the promotion of human rights. It's where we have them when we are using the sort of security, they are going to be a violation of human rights. So I believe as the government prioritizes security, it also has to look at now working with other stakeholders. The police has worked with other stakeholders in trying to see that the human rights are enforced and they are not violated. Last week, actually this very week, where the president called upon the senior UPDF officers, and we were having a meeting over the unlawful arrests, the inhuman treatment while arresting people, and in his speech, he said that as the army, they need to exercise a lot of discipline. As they are arresting people, they need to also exercise a level of discipline, even if it is abusing people. It's not recommendable by the UPDF. So I believe the government should work in hand with the security, the Uganda Human Rights Commission, and other stakeholders, together with also the Parliamentary Human Rights Committee, to see that these human rights are enforced in a peaceful nation. Thank you.
So, Mr. Dan, before you can finish, so just in a minute, based on the current state, would like you to anticipate. Is the government going to choose a side? That is it going to prioritize security over the freedom or the human rights of the citizens? Just in a minute.
If there is insecurity in the country, there is only the hundred of human rights violation. So I believe the government is going to prioritize over security because when there is security and we are having a peaceful, we are living in a peaceful country, automatically now the protection of human rights will come in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Let's have Ian to conclude.
Yeah, now I want to deviate from Dan's point of view. Both of them are important, both state control and security and together with freedom of the people. Both of them are important, but towards the elections, the government is going to prioritize state control and security at the expense of the fundamental human rights. That's how I anticipate it to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our dear guests. So someone will give it back to you.
Yeah.
You promised us to actually give us an overview of the role of the Human Rights Commission. Is it the Uganda Human Rights Commission before we could end the show?
The what?
You promised us something from the Uganda Human Rights Commission to give us an overview of the role.
No, well, actually, I wanted to say, I said it, but we all know the role of the commission, that is to protect and, of course, promote the fundamental human rights and freedoms of Ugandans for sustainable development. Now, we saw some of the cases where the commission itself has come up. We saw in 2024, mostly in BCG's cases in December, the commission also came out and indulged itself in them, but there was nothing. We saw the same results. We didn't see the positive ones that maybe the people responsible will come out and then maybe work on something. And again, we saw the same thing, the same unlawful acts onto the people. So that brings questions to Ugandans, and we'll be like, what are these bodies for? You get. And of course, now that we are actually into the critical times where of elections. Yeah, we could see still. We would want to see these bodies. There are even some private bodies still to come up to fight for the rights of the people. We are seeing abductions and all that. But again, there is nothing being done. The questions still come to the government generally because they are the overtaker of the country. Again. So the question is still to them. We are seeing this the tweets from the CDF. They are so terrifying. I personally, I'm a journalist, but I got scared. I was like, 2026, am I really going to come and cover, this, the election and stories, all that. We are living in a country which is threatened by the people responsible, and the bodies responsible to curb this kind of situation. They are quiet.
Actually, we wouldn't blame them to be quiet because they are controlled by the people they're supposed to confront about this.
I was actually watching news. Usually on Monday, there is this police press briefing. So there is a police man. He was asked about what is going on, about the tweets of the CDF and then the abduction of Eddie Mutwe. Yeah, and he was like, I don't want to talk about my boss's what. Those kind of things. See, even the police, I would say that the police also is intimidated, is in fear of what is going on. They even don't want to talk about it. Hey, he's our boss, we don't want to talk about that. You get it? So if they themselves fear, you know. So what about us, the Ugandans? What should we do? I have no idea about about that, but upon the question that you asked, will the
Will
government
they prioritize
prioritize
security over the
security
freedom?
measures or freedom for the people? I would say they all matter, like he said.
Mm.
They all matter, but this time around it is going to be the same as 2020.
Really?
2020, yes, they are going to prioritize security because the government also wants to stay in the power.
Mm.
Of course, what would you do? You would want to enforce, to put in much more efforts to see that you get back, unless you're tired. But when you're not tired, but in good faith, in good ways, unfortunately, still we are under fear. Freedom of the people is going to be low. Like, people are not going to be like, free to,
To exercise their
yes,
rights.
they're right. Yeah, I'm afraid of that. That is my take about your thing.
Well, I wouldn't also differ from the rest of you.
Yeah.
Actually, it's already visible enough of what is happening. Because for me, I do believe that if these bodies were independent and actually they weren't driven by the people who are already on the current government that is already in power,
Yeah.
we would have whereby the freedom of the people and their rights is prioritized. But since the government that is in power, the people, the head of state, and everyone is the one who appoints the heads of these commissions and organizations that protect the rights.
Mm.
We shall see, of course, the government prioritizing security.
All right, we have one I think, some opinion here from the former UMUSU leader, Kenneth.
His Excellency.
His Excellency, yeah, he's saying all is right. However, I want us to look at the independence of bodies. For example, the judiciary, and then also the decline in the rule of law in Uganda. He says if those two things work out, all rights can be respected. Yeah. So someone can't tell me you prefer security to human rights. You get? No, that's not right, design. No, that's not right. Oh my God, he's still writing. Anyway, that one, and those ones who are virtual. Thank you, Mr. Kenneth, for keeping that. Keeping.
We would like to hear his last message, sir.
Okay.
Just
No.
a minute.
Mr. Dan, say your last word here. Then we close.
I want management of
Yeah.
and as I conclude, I call upon the government agencies to work in hand so that we can have a peaceful and fair election.
Thank you very much.
To all of that, the coming election, in case of any irregularities, is report to the responsible bodies in the community so that they will raise an next.
All right, thank you very much. We have Mr. Maganda Harrison.
Yes, thank you very much for the last time for the opportunity to ask again. And I would like to thank the listeners of the Homo Radio. And also thank you for the opportunity to keeping us in touch with the activities that are going on. What I would say for my parent point is, well, while the government looks at the time to accept the right to this to make a role for the rule of law. Because the rule of law, all believe that society will be intact. That is what I can say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. This one is still saying, Mr. Kenneth, you're on my neck. He's like, the human rights in Uganda are not respected due to environment of politics. Human rights are now only for those that support the government, not the rest. Yeah, your last remark.
Yeah, as I conclude, I will not deviate from the fellow panelists as we are coming for the 2026 general elections. We just call upon the government agencies, especially the Uganda Human Rights Commission, to take up the stage and protect the human rights of the the Ugandan citizens as ensuring in the constitution. Thank you very much.
Very good. We throw it out all because
Thank you
the
very much,
panelists are done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our dear. Yes, thank you to our dear listener. I really love what Mr. Muhumuza was submitting, and of course, me, I want to put upon an organization because I know they are wrong and they have the reason why they are actually not doing it. So, my own call is to our fellow citizens. Let's act what the law says. First, let us stay on track and do what we're supposed to do as the citizens of Uganda. And still, I do call upon our fellow youth to actively participate in the upcoming general elections. I've heard people who are saying, "Me, I want to vote, I already know who the winner is." No, go cast your vote. And at least, the more we try, never know one day, we shall have change happening. So it all starts with us. Let's actively participate in the upcoming elections and, of course, do believe as we do the right thing. Thank you.
The Gavel Gold Show, the ultimate leadership experience where visionaries, innovators, and game changers come together to share their stories, insights, and leadership expertise.
Tune in every Saturday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the Gavel Gold Show with Simon and Nikki on Omo